how's everyone doing? Hope you're all doing well. I'm back in HD. Can we just confirm that the audio is active, clear, and everyone can hear and see me? Well, I think it's a good place to start. How's everyone doing? Please let me know where you're tuning in from and what you're hoping to get out of today. Anyone ever had any experience doing sound design for visuals? Be very, very interested to know. Also think this could be pretty interesting. Thank you, Bishop91. Always on the ball. I really appreciate that. Yeah. So, awesome. Thank you, MV Beckham. In full colour. Wow. That is nice. I'd hope so. Great. Thank you, Bozy. Thank you, Damien. Awesome. Thank you, everyone. So, welcome to our start to the week, our sound design sessions. This is a new idea which I've had, and so far we've been exploring sound design, creating our own presets that are maybe specific to sounds, genres, artists, you know, anything like that. We've never really dipped our toes much into the water of sound design for visuals, and it's an absolutely massive thing, really. When you think about it, it's probably the reason sound design is actually bigger, is sound design for film, sound design for TV, sound design for animation, you've got sound design literally all around you all day long and you don't even realize it. I think it's interesting how we don't diegetically process sound design, we just consume it and think it's like part of everyday life. Like literally everything makes sound. It's super, super interesting. So I thought what would be really fun is to explore sound design for visuals, and starting off with basically like animations. We could definitely do more with it. I think something that's quite a cool idea, I'll just show you the session for today. I think that's something as quite a cool idea is, let me just get the video bit up. Yeah, I think something that's a cool idea is maybe if people are into this, and maybe if not, then we won't do it. But I thought what could be really, really cool is for maybe if we make this do this maybe monthly or bi-monthly, depending on if it's people are into it. You guys get the animation or the visual prior to the live stream, and then you maybe have a go at, you know, scoring and sound designing it yourself. I watch them back and then show you maybe what I do, but it'd be awesome to see what people are starting to learn. And also all of the stuff that I'll be using is royalty free or stuff that I've made or under Creative Commons, so you can use it to start to build your own sound design portfolio, which is really, really cool because you know, people want to try and showcase their work, and a difficult part of getting your foot in the door with music is just having material to work with. So this is a good way to build that stuff up. So here is the first video. I'm not sure how many of these we're going to get into. Probably I'd like to get one done for sure, but really slowly explain the process. I'm going to be trying my best to exclusively use Serum, and I'm going to try and use a little bit of simpler, sampler, Ableton stuff, but I'm really, really going to try and limit myself here to one VST. So let's see what happens with that. So here is the first video. So there we go. And obviously there is no audio, don't worry. And then I do have a couple of other videos. This one you've just seen before. And honestly, it can be so interesting to see the different outcomes because everyone will tell a different story with their sound design when it comes to creating sounds and music for visuals. That's why I think it could be interesting if it was interactive and you maybe submitted sound design for these. And then here's a third one, which is more of like an infographic style thing. I actually think this would probably be the busiest one. Don't worry, there's not going to be any sound. So that's what we've got to work with today. So to everyone in the chat, I will try my best to keep on top of comments as we're going along. If it's relevant and it's what I'm doing, I'll just try and pick it up. If not, usually come back in the last 5 to 10 minutes, answer questions depending on how many we have. So if you're new here, my name is Brent March. I'm a sound designer and composer. We do these every week on a Monday. If you like this, please hit the bell icon to be notified for future live streams from myself, other people, and subscribe to the channel and give this a thumbs up, because it really helps us keep creating this content, which is essential. Also, if you have any suggestions for future stuff, you can let us know in the comments or on our Discord server. So now that that's all out the way, let's get on with designing these sounds. So just before doing this, I literally went around my house with my field recorder. It's a Zoom H6, nothing incredibly fancy. You could totally do exactly the same with an iPhone. And I just recorded some sounds, and here's the original files. And because it's a bit of a tedious job of, you know, chopping these up and stuff, I've done a rough chop up of just 5 things that we might end up using from around mainly my kitchen, to be completely honest, because I don't really want to chop this huge file up live on air when people are watching, because it's really quite boring. So these are just the sounds here. It would help if the channel was on. You will have to have headphones. Just a mixture of like buttons, coffee beans, doors, stuff like that. But a key part of sound design for visuals is a mixture of synthesized and organic elements. So there's 3 things we've got to think about. I guess let me pull up this video again. I need to learn the shortcut for this really badly. Shift, Alt, Command, and V. Okay, let's just do that then. There we go. So there's 3 things you got to think about. The main thing is tone. So when you are going to describe this scene with sound design and music, what is the tone that you want the music to portray with the visuals? Let me just put this on a loop here so we don't have to keep doing this. So yeah, tone. Is it going to be sort of casual? Is it authoritative, business? Is it entertaining? Is it dramatic? So I guess you've got to really start to think about it before you do it. It's just like state your intentions from the get-go, just like if you were writing music for, you know, anything. Second one is energy. Is it going to be a calm thing, or is it going to be really high in energy and sort of manic? And the third thing is the timing, which is probably one of the most important ones. The pace, the tempo mapping. Does it have a specific rhythm? And then from there, the ways to communicate these visuals, I've listed off a couple, but if you can think of any more. Number 1, it's got to be pitch. The register at which you are in will completely describe what's happening on screen. Straight away when I'm looking at this, I'm getting information already. So I'd be interested to see what you all think when you're watching this back. Number 2, I would say speed. So the sounds that you are creating, are they going to be fast, slow, sort of mid-tempo? Number 3, a third way that you can shape your sounds for a lot of these on-screen visuals and animations is using envelopes and changing the shape of the sound. So believe it or not, literally everything you can possibly find in the world has an envelope. It has like that has an envelope. I think a really good example, actually I even wrote it down, was a zip has a slow attack and a long decay, because when you start a zip, depending on the speed at which you pull it, it goes like, and it's going to increase. So a zip has a slow attack, long decay, and it sort of has like pitch modulation over time. Depending on how fast you pull it, the pitch is going to rise. So there's another thing to consider, is the envelope of the sounds you're going to use. Do you want them to be really slow? Do you want them to die off quick? Do you want them to be really short and plucky? All these things to consider. Number 4, tone. So this is a big one as a sound designer. Are your sounds going to be distorted? Are they going to be clean? Are they going to be in a big space, in an environment? Are they going to be maybe modulated? So many things to consider, and you know, way too much to just cover in today's thing, but we're just going to touch the iceberg today and see what we can create with this this first visual. And then the 5th one is movement, volume, panning. We're talking sort of like automation. And then my last one is EQ, so filter decisions, maybe LFOs, modulating filters, stuff like that. And the typical sounds that we would expect to hear are whooshes, UI sounds, sort of like buttons and confirmation messages. Field recordings is a really, really big one. So for example, to me, when I'm watching this, I'm thinking, I'm getting kind of like space sci-fi vibes. So I definitely try and create some sort of field recording environment for this on top of layering hard sound effects. And then the last one is ambience as well. So again, just putting it in a sort of space. So for example, if you're designing sounds for outside in nature, you'd obviously try and get some field recordings of the actual environment. We're going to be using a mixture of synthesized sounds, found Foley, and real instruments. Also, physical modeling is really good for some of these things. I know that Ableton has a good physical modeling from Applied Acoustic Systems, I think. And they also do it third party, which you can get But yeah, let's get going. So I'm going to try and use exclusively Serum and just sort of like native stuff to Ableton. Watchers asking why am I not using Studio One. About a week or two ago, I moved over to Ableton for sound design purposes. I just feel like it has a lot more. Honestly, it's just a lot more powerful, and I can do things quicker, more effectively, and I can do stuff that, quite frankly, I couldn't do in Studio One. I'm not leaving Studio One at all, and it's not a knock to Studio One. Still using Studio One for a lot of things, and I will be using it in future streams. Don't worry. But for sound design, stuff like this, I really feel like Ableton's where I need to focus my strengths. So I'm just going to make the video a lot smaller, and let me grab Serum. I've got this is I'm using my M1 MacBook, but the got folders for like the most used plugins on Ableton. It's another thing that I love about the collections in Ableton. Is really cool. So let's just stick with Serum. I'm going to try and do this in a way where you can see Serum, you can see me, you can see the video. Not challenging at all. In fact, I think I should do that the other way around. Hey Larry, how's it going? Great to have you here. If you've just tuned in, we are basically creating sounds for visuals, which is a first for us. So, let me just take this one out of solo. There's our default sound from Serum. And yeah, I'm just going to do a couple of plays through of this without any sound to really try and understand the sounds that I want to create here. So let's just watch this a couple of sounds. Okay, so we go from darkness to a lot of light, and then the light fades out. And the light gets more intense, and then the light dies away. Interesting. Apart from that, there's not an entire lot going on here. Basically, it starts black, it fades in. We've got a little bit of sort of like a shape that spirals, which is cool. So, I'm going to start off with one of the most powerful things you can do, and that is a sine wave, because let's face it, every single sound is based on a sine wave, even in nature. So let's go for a sine wave. I'm going to go an octave lower. And I'm going to try and communicate this as much as I can whilst going through. For anyone who's tuned in, I'm just using Serum for this. I'm really trying to limit myself. Obviously, I could do 1,000 things with hundreds of tools and I might get a better outcome. But this is so you can truly understand the process. Now, I think what would be really cool when I'm watching this is a sine wave fundamentally is like a sub. So tune it down, but with the pitch modulation on the actual fine tune, so that we get all the way going down as the colors come in. So I think a slow attack, because we start off with a black screen, then the fundamental comes in, and then we drop in pitch. So we don't drop in volume, but we drop in pitch. So maybe something sort of like that. So let's change our LFO here, and I'm going to put it on envelope mode and anchor. I'm going to use this on this here. There we go. I've held down Shift and Alt there, by the way, and it helps you control the tune, well, the modulation there, so it just goes in one direction. So let's change this now. Okay, cool. We are getting what I want. It's a little bit fast. Cool. I think that this is already starting to, the most important thing is you don't have to overcomplicate this. I think that could actually sound quite good, but I'm not going to add any more crazy waves to this. I think I'll just be looking mainly at shaping and effects. But for me, the fundamental thing here is get a good starting source and then think about its shape over time. Okay. We've essentially got the same graphic repeated twice. Okay, that's perfect then, because we don't need it. We don't need it double the length. Okay, let's go into effects. And I'm going to go straight to... I'm going to use a... No, I'm going to go my distortion. And I'm going to go for a more aggressive. So some of these, basically, you're pushing your sine wave into a totally new wave format when you are essentially clipping the waveform. I quite like the diode. Let's use the second envelope to, I'm going to pull back. I'm going to pull back on the mix here. And I'm going to use a reverb. And I want it to basically, I'm going to basically use the LFO on the mix control. And let's take it out of envelope. That's cool. The reason is, I feel like, what's that? Isn't it funny how when the sound design visuals is on point, it's almost like you can't hear it, but when it's bad, yeah, yeah, it just passes over your head. I think it's funny how when you're watching film or TV, you don't even think about the music. It's just like, but if it wasn't there, oh my God, you'd notice it, wouldn't you? So what I'm doing here is I'm modulating the reverb's mix control. I'm going to low cut it a little bit. And basically, this to me is a space when I'm watching it, and it looks like it gets bigger and then it gets smaller. So, I think what I'll do is I'll have the reverb slowly come in. Yeah, cool. Maybe a bit too much on the mix there. Maybe use the LFO on the drive. Okay, I think I want to drive it a tad more. Let's try some compression on this. Okay, I'm just going to record this part in. And I haven't really established a tempo. Let's just see what we have. Actually, I feel like 120 might be... Actually, because the way that it transitions from the very start of the light and going out, I feel like it could just maybe just be like 5 BPM faster. Yeah, that works quite well. Cool, I like it. Okay, now what I'm thinking is maybe if I introduce some more voices, that might sound quite cool. Let's put a sub in on a direct out, and I'll bring my blend to the center. Cool. Some part of me is tempted to try some modulation movements here. That could be cool as well. So you could potentially set up an LFO on the FM just a tad. Again, take it out. Slower. Actually, I feel like okay, let's record this part in then. I need a bigger screen. Okay, let's I think just shorten the envelope a bit. Yeah, fits perfectly. I really quite like that. One thing I should mention as well here is, if you were to do this yourself and you had a totally different result to what I've done, it's not wrong. This is truly, truly subjective. So I think this is the most creative form of sound design because it's just up to your sort of voice, if you will. Do you know what I mean? It's like this, you can't really be criticized on unless it's absolutely appalling in terms of like just not hitting the... I don't know, I really feel like you cannot be claimed that this is wrong because it's just completely personal and completely subjective. So I'm going to take another Serum, duplicated, and remove this part and go for an initialize preset. Get rid of the metronome. Okay, I'm just going to give myself a little bit more room on the end here so I can hear the first one die off. Yeah, that sounds cool because I really like the reverb tail. So this is what we've got so far. It's a sine wave. It's been distorted with some soft, I think it was a soft tube, and it's in space, and there's really not much more going on than that, but it fits the scene quite well. Yeah, what about the intro? I think it still needs to have a slightly shorter, longer attack. Perfect. Yeah, I like that a lot. So if we go on to Serum number 2, I think with this one, you could definitely make something a little bit more brutal. So let's have a look at what else am I thinking? I feel like the other thing when I watch this is you've got more. So you've got that main pulsation of the light dying out towards the end of the tunnel. But then what you also have is you could almost have like a stepped rhythm, you know, for every single new light that appears. And then it becomes more distant. So maybe something which illustrates the light with... so I'm thinking something plucky with an LFO, maybe modulating the level or the filter cutoff. So let's have a think about this. Let's have a look at what... in fact, I'm going to ditch the oscillator array for now. And again, you can do so much with Serum because it's so powerful. Even with the noise oscillator, we can create nice transitions and stuff. So for example, again, please, if you can, wear good headphones. So I feel like this, I'll use this. So I'm using just an ADSR on here. And let's go through. So these are all just the ones that come with Serum. But one of my favorite things about this noise oscillator is you can drag your own noises onto here. That's nice. With the longer release. Okay, and let's put it into a hyperdimension, try and create some sort of science fiction type sounds. Okay. I'll leave that off for now, actually. Definitely need a space. I think that's long enough. I'm going to get rid of... increase the spin. Okay. How would that lay out this? I feel like I should layer it now with something. Let me try. Let me ignore the noise for now. So I'm going to go into something, let's try cream. Okay. I'm actually going to totally, I'm going to use a separate, I'm going to remove this. And let's pull our super sort of clicky. Let's use this on here as well. Okay, let's have a look in our LFOs folder. It's got to be a lot faster than that. Thinking about the register is the main thing here. Might try alternating between this and level on here. It's getting there. I might remove this modulator. Yes, there's an there's an LFO folder. Yeah, in this folder here, and you can import your own as well. Not really liking that one though. Let me go through a couple more of these. Maybe some it's too fast for that. Not the kicks. It's just a process of trial and error, as you can see. Don't really love this waveform. Let's try this one. Okay, this has got to modulate. I think I'm going to ditch this idea and just use a much more traditional LFO. Let me try. I still need an LFO to modulate this. Okay, getting there. This is on the wrong thing. These are kind of cool, analog waveforms. Oh, okay, I might modulate the pitch as well. Slower. Okay, we finally got something that I like. Needs to be slightly faster. Smaller space, I think. Definitely getting there. Some chorus. Like, look how long this has took me, but I feel like it's been worth it. And let's try a little bit of one of these. Getting there. Wow. I think I'm going to leave the distortion on this because I quite like it clean. I just feel like I need this a tiny bit faster. Maybe don't go as far with the pitch. Okay, let me try one more thing with the filter for the noise. And might try a bandpass. It's way too slow, isn't it? I'll go from further low down. I wish this sample would go a tad lower. So you can see by the noise folder, you can use Serum as an incredibly powerful sampler just alone. I might bring back in this oscillator and receive FM from the noise. No. Okay, let's try this now. I need to try and see if this works. Okay, so we need a... I'm going to have another LFO on here. Take it out of trigger mode. And I want it to suck away like that, so that's the perfect LFO shape. The only thing I'm not entirely happy with is analog flow noise. I would definitely just drag my own in here if I had something to hand, but I don't want to spend ages. Well, longer. Okay, let's just record it. It's never going to be perfect. In fact, I think the one thing... Oh man, I'm bad for this. Okay, let's just record it. So bad with this. this earlier. Okay, I think what I want to do now is go back to this original Serum. Believe it or not, we only have 2 instances going on, even though it feels like we've maybe got 100. Okay, that's cool. I might just try a slightly more. I like that. I feel like the one thing I could maybe do is from before. So these are some of the things I recorded around field recordings. I think maybe this one of these is water, is what I know. Maybe this one. That's beans. One of these is water, I'm sure. If one of these isn't water, I'm sure one of these is. Oh, it's not then. What a shame. Oh, I could have sworn I had water. What a shame. I think there is. I'm sure there's water here. Let me just quickly dig around for this because I really want to use it. Maybe this is water? Maybe this? This looks like wind. This looks like maybe water. Yes! Okay. Just get rid of this. Just get rid of this. Let's put this on a new audio track underneath. Okay, let's pull this over here. This doesn't need to be so big. Let's go back to the loop actually. So, water as it is doesn't sound fantastic. However, I feel like there's a really good granular synth that comes from Max for Live called Granulator, but I think I don't have it installed on this computer. But I do have Portal and other stuff like Quanta. Okay, so let's just leave this here. So I don't have an incredible amount of control here. What I will do is, because I'm just trying to use my audio and basically Serum and audio, I'm going to just go and grab Simpler from Audio Effects, Instruments, yeah, that, put this in here, then I can totally change this, spread it, okay, let's, again, let's do, okay, so just changing, so I'm on the amplitude envelope here. That's cool. I think I'll probably reduce the change the transmit. Let's bring this up again. Oh, actually, I quite like the bit at the end. Oh, that's nice. I prefer that. I don't think that'll sound as good as a Foley layer sounding. Okay, we'll stick with this bit, and then I feel like Okay, and then let's just grab a reverb. I really think this is fantastic, actually, the hybrid reverb. So what you're mixing here is algorithmic and convolutions. So you've got a dark hole mixed with a convolution reverb, and you can use your own here. Let's get rid of the... let's just make a convolution for now. You put them through convolution, it totally changes the characteristic. I think this is probably going to fit the scene. Let's go on the textures folder once more. I've already filtered out the lows. Let's maybe get rid of this for now then. See if it reacts better without the filter. I think I'm going to change the filter once more. And again. Okay. How's this? It's actually... I don't need this anymore, do I? Oh no. Good. Don't need this layer here. Okay. I think I just need to have a slightly quicker attack time on the envelope here. I think I just might pitch it a bit more. Finding the right register is always even tricky. This just shows you how long it takes to do 3 bits. I'm really trying to limit myself to just using native stuff and Serum and that's it. But even if I had other tools at access, it would still have took me this long. Let me try and record this bit in. Okay. And then I'm just going to, this is completely random, but I'm just going to freeze it. And then do an audio track, bring it onto the audio track, and then I just feel like resampling it. This gives me a little bit more control. A big thing here as well that I haven't really talked about is just levels as well. This is pretty accurate, I think. I think it's really good. Let me know if you want this file. We can put this into the Discord along with the other bits and bobs that we will include, like the presets from Serum and any audio files. But let me know if you want the video file to do your own. I'd be really interested to see what people come up with. Like I said, it's a good exercise to practice scoring and doing sound design for visuals. But also these are free to use, these visuals, so you can use them if you like as sort of like a portfolio piece. So let me know if you think it's a good idea and you want me to put it on the Discord for you all. Nudge this. I feel like that's much better, the entry point there actually. Just about there. Okay. I feel like I could add more of this. Always want to do that. But I don't feel like there's any... Okay, yeah. that I'm more than happy to do. So I'll chuck in the free stuff that I've made with Serum and any audio files. I'll also include this video, and it'll be awesome to see what you come up with, and tag me. It'll be at Sound and Vision on Discord. Try and get the video up in the next day or so. But yeah, it'd be really, really cool to hear what you guys do with this. I'd love to hear what you do, and let us know what tools you use and stuff, and we can maybe even share it. You know, the process they use, if you use Serum, if you use different VST, and I'm thinking Pigments would be cool for their Granular engine. That's timed well now, I'm like, I don't know about the register of this. That's better, it's much more fitting. There you go, head to the Discord tomorrow to pick it up after the stream, so you can get everything there tomorrow. I do prefer that at a lower pitch, so I've nearly tuned it. Might as well just make it in a whole. Actually, it's not really in key, so it doesn't matter. So there you go. This is the first one. Imagine it with absolutely no audio at all. So this is what we had as our starting base. And then tap running water, process through simpler, and just changing the envelopes, not really using any effects apart from reverb, a downer, and some sort of UI filtered effects in Serum later. And you could just keep going with that further and further and further. Watch and make the sound go from front to back by volume fades. Yeah, you could do some really great automation here. I haven't used Paul Stretch Bosey, but I have heard of it, and I believe it's free, isn't it? So yes, yeah, volume automation would be really cool in here. I think that would really make it interesting. I've already done a little bit of EQing, movement, volume panning. I think an auto panner could be cool on that. Wow, Pigments is 50% off at the minute. How much is that then? Because isn't it usually... Would that be $99 then? That's a steal. Yeah, absolutely tons of Black Friday stuff flying around if you've been living under a rock over on the ADSR website. So if there's Serums on there, that's sadly, I'd imagine, never on a Black Friday, but the Pigments is as good, if not better. So if you want to follow along, grab Pigments for future streams, because I use that a lot as well. So yeah, I've already done some EQ movement. I'd probably think about panning in a space. I think some ambisonic stuff could be quite interesting, because I did a little stream, it was probably a couple of months ago now, on ambisonics and for binaural rendering, and that could be really interesting for these things. Tone, we've got quite a bit of distortion going on here. I think really, even if I wasn't under the time constraints, there's not a great deal more I'd do to something like this. I feel like the only thing I love the modulation that happens. I just feel like I'd like something maybe a little bit rhythmic for each individual sort of highlighted square, if you know what I mean. I wonder if I can come up with something. It's pointless me going on to a new one with sort of 5 minutes in the bag before I dive through any questions. Yeah, so it is $99. Wow, that's a good deal. That's a really good deal. Who hasn't got Pigments already? Because if you don't, you really are missing out. It's not just marketing spiel, like, it's genuinely worth having. Probably one of the most useful wavetables since there is. If you're on a budget / no budget, well, budget as in there is no budget, you have no money to spend, grab Vital, that's free. That's a it gives it a good run for its money, to say the least. Yeah, so what thing I want to do last on here? If we go into samples folder, what does that convert to in sterling? Probably £99. I think usually I know that's not the correct conversion from dollars, but I think $99 is also £99 for the region. You'll find out when you go to the ADSR basket. Some of these wave files that come with Ableton are really, really good. All of these are just recorded sounds from synths or Foley. I'd really recommend diving into recording your own stuff. Atmos. Oh, okay. That's an idea. I feel like that could be such an interesting thing to do at the end. Just all of a sudden have this coming. Wait, I did learn the shortcut. Get in. Sort of like a watermark, that, isn't it? Oh dear. Let's try this. It's not quite there now. Oh, wow, so it's £71. Oh my goodness. That's a great deal. Wow. I would have used it in this stream had I known people were debating buying it, but basically think of Serum on steroids. That's the way it describes pigments. There's plenty of streams where I've used it if you want to go and watch them. So this is just something from the Ableton folder, but the moral of what I'm trying to say is with the visuals, it's always a hybrid of synthesized and organic elements. So Foley, it can be found sounds, Foley, recording real instruments. I also think physical modeling is really, really helpful here. Not so much with this video, but for example with the UI video, something like a marimba is really illustrative for buttons, call-outs, user interface sort of things. But yeah, I'm quite happy with this. Yeah. So I will come and check any questions that you guys have. So yeah, that's £71 for us Brits. And $99 for you guys over the pond. So that's on the ADSR website. So it's normally $199. So that's pigments. Only if I could, I would have made those buttons here on a spaceship movies according to the light Chang. Oh, okay, I get what you mean. Yeah, I think you can make them in Serum 100% as well. Like I said, I'd be happy to do more of these if this is something people are into. Tomorrow I will drop all of this stuff within the next day or two. I'll imagine it would be on the Discord, and I'd just love to see what people come up with visual wise. I know we have some budding sound designers as well. We've got a guy called Hydrotech who's doing some awesome sound design. He's done his own sample pack, and I know I'm sure he landed a gig doing some sound design for some sort of visual things. So stuff like this is great to add to your portfolio to try and learn and educate yourself, but also you've got to put these things into practice. Me just sitting here showing you and talking about it is great, but it's not really going to be worthwhile if you're not going to try and basically use these skills. And post-production and sound design is a field that I can tell you is well, number one, very enjoyable. Number two, very lucrative, because there's more visual media than any time with the number of adverts you see on social media, TV, film, streaming. You've got at-home premieres. There's absolutely loads of stuff. And with the world of remote working, I'm working on stuff now for, you get Hollywood sort of trailers through which you get sound design customs on. So location does not matter with these things. All that matters is skills, tool setting, having examples of work. So something like this genuinely is worth building up. This scoring thing is really cool. Yeah, I really like it as well. I think, personally, I think this is a gateway for people to try and build their skills and also maybe increase their chances of actually getting work with creative agencies and directors, publishers. There's a lot of options here, and if you're just doing it for fun, it's an incredibly great way to learn how you can make sounds with stuff that's around you. And if you have ideas, exactly drop them onto our ADSR server. So just to recap, we've got 2 instances of Serum on this, and I'm not even going to consider this Atmos dark layer, to be honest. This was just the water sound. What other ones I have here was this video here. So this one's quite different, to be honest. So these are the sort of things that I've done in the past. A lot of these sort of infographic style videos are used by a massive range of brands. So these things here are worth learning about as well. These sounds typically are a lot less sci-fi based. So these are where you're probably more, you're probably better off using stuff like physical modeling and finding your own sounds. I'd imagine the majority of these will be whooshes and UIs, user interface buttons. And then this last one here is super abstract, but a lot of artists need sound design for videos as well. So it's so broad. You could do something for a brand, you could do something for an A-list film or a video game, and then you could do something which is just for an artist exhibition like this. For me, that really, it's like in liquid format, and there's so much movement going on with that it's just crying out for granular synthesis to sort of entertain and illustrate the on-screen visuals. I really love that one. Maybe we could do it in the future. But again, if you have some ideas that you'd like to look at, we're more than happy. I've got a big list of ideas, by the way, and one of them which I thought was totally like a very interesting idea is making sound design with sounds that are out of your comfort zone. So we all have tools in terms of virtual instruments, sample packs, you know, you name it, where we just, oh God, you skipped that preset, that's terrible, I'd never use that. Or, oh, I'd never use the preset on that plugin, what it's done to the sound there. But what if that is the answer to getting outside of your creative rut, is using, you need to use sounds that you would never use. They're at your comfort zone. Don't be afraid to use them, because you could be so surprised by the results. So it could be a live stream dedicated to send me on the Discord, maybe a week or lead up or more to a live stream, any sounds. It could be a preset for a synth which you think is absolutely terrible that you just can't use, or sounds from around the house or outside, and we'll try and make some sort of like a track with it almost. So that could be interesting. I would jump around in a bucket of jelly to make this sound. Genuinely, Larry, the funny thing is that is exactly what Foley is like if you type in Foley and you watch people like with the hands and gunk and stuff, it's so messy. It looks like so much fun. A lot of those things you need a massive scoring stage though. Make that the next ADSR challenge. Sound design for stuff like you just said, not just music but Foley and everything. Could be totally interesting. Could even be a collaboration or something. An ADSR, like, you know, we have different people who maybe watch Tatro versus watches the sound design ones. So maybe the people who watch the ADSR challenge for that one could write the music for something, and then we could do the sound design for it, and you guys could maybe participate in it as well. Super interesting, super fun. And I really enjoy this. And like I said, you'll be able to grab all this stuff free within the next day or so. So I've really enjoyed this. I hope that you have too. If you have any questions at all, please just let me know. Put them in the comments or put them into the Discord. I'm struggling for the life of me to get my mouse onto this second screen. Why, oh why is it so hard? There we are, we got there in the end. So yeah, he always just made it in the end. Going and watching this was in it. Oh, okay, TI80 Mark, nice to see you. Yeah, feel free to watch it back live or whenever. So I'll see you guys next week. We might have a special one coming up on Sunday as well for a course that's landing. Have a great Black Friday week. There's loads of deals going on the website, like pigments for a crazy stupid price, something like £78 or maybe less. So yeah, see you next week, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Let us know how you get on, and please share with us your sound design for the video that we've done today. All right, guys, have a great week.